This morning on Daybreak, several laws go into effect, including one that updates the Amber Alert system.
And a Missouri mom has filed a lawsuit against the vaping company Juul.
Plus, we're finishing our series on women who have struggled with infertility. We'll go into detail about our final installment and more coming up this morning on Daybreak.
Good morning and thanks for waking up with us. It's Thursday, August 29th. I'm Lauren Barnes.
And I'm Joe Morano. I feel like this came up a little bit quick today.
What did? The show?
The showtime.
Oh.
Thursday, the showtime, everything else.
Well, that's no good.
Yeah, well, I hope Thursday goes fast, though, you know?
Yeah, you're right. It could be a good omen.
So, plenty of that coming up later on over the next 2 hours, so thank you for joining. Elisa Rapp is here to tell us as well if we can go outside or not once again today. I hope kids after school are able to get outside and enjoy things.
Homework first, though.
Boy,
He's like, wow, she ruined it so fast.
So much.
No, I mean, it's going to be a really nice day again today with the sunshine. A little bit more August feeling today than it was yesterday.
Very nice.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to that, yeah.
We're starting out with some clear skies. Temperatures are still not bad in the 60s this morning. It's dry roads in Springfield, 64 degrees, and south and southeast winds at 6 miles per hour. We've got clear conditions on satellite and radar. Again, you'll have smooth sailing on your way to work and school. You get temperatures not quite as crisp as yesterday, just a few degrees warmer. It's 64 degrees in Springfield, 64 in Clinton, and 63 at Lake of the Ozarks. Remember, yesterday we had some temperatures dropping into the 50s. Dew points are still pretty good, though, in the upper 50s and lower 60s, though we are starting to creep in some humidity to the west, and that will continue to push in as we head through the day today. So dry roads again. I expect mostly sunny skies and smooth conditions. We'll have another really nice day, mostly sunny. 88 degrees by dismissal will be seasonal and a little bit more August-like by the end of the day. So quiet again today. Then we've got 2 days of storm chances to talk about. Bleeds into part of the Labor Day weekend forecast and an update on Hurricane Dorian. Details on that in 10 minutes.
We begin Daybreak this morning with some political coverage for you. Governor Mike Parson signed over 40 laws this year, with most of them going into effect yesterday. Among them is Haley's Law, which updates the Amber Alert system. The legislation took 5 years to get to this point after Haley Owens, a 10-year-old girl from Springfield, was abducted and murdered. This law reduces the amount of time it takes to send out an alert and requires the board to meet once a year to discuss changes to the system. Republican Speaker of the House Elijah Haahr and Democratic Minority Leader Crystal Quaid are both proud of this law.
Obviously, the story of Haley is something that has been deeply impactful to everybody in the Springfield community.
Oftentimes, even if it's an issue that both sides agree upon, it does take time to just go through the process. There are 163 legislators and all have different priorities, and so it's not uncommon for something to take 2 or 3 years for it to actually make the finish, across the finish line.
Also want to update you on some other laws that are now in effect. One that reduces prison sentences for nonviolent crimes, and then one that will allow the Department of Revenue to revoke your license if you were negligent in hitting a worker in a work zone or a first responder. And finally, one that license fee increases for driver's licenses, operators' licenses, and vehicle title transfers.
Continuing with our political coverage, yesterday marked the official restructuring of 4 state agencies. It's a milestone in Governor Mike Parson's plan to improve state government. The Division of Workforce Development and Missouri Economic Research and Information Center have moved to the newly named Department of Higher Education and Workforce Development to establish a single state resource for all post-secondary education options.
This wasn't about politics. It was about really how do we do a better job as public servants. No matter what our titles are, whether it's governor or directors, at the end of the day, we are supposed to be public servants for the people of this state. This reorganization will make us better.
The governor says the reorganization will also focus Missouri's economic development strategy and make the state more competitive.
Elections are about 14 months away, but a Missourian has announced that he intends to run for the GOP nomination for governor. State Representative Jim Neely has maxed out his time in the Missouri House and wants to take on the role of governor. Mike Parson is expected to announce his candidacy early next month. Democrat State Auditor Nicole Galloway has already announced her bid for the position as well.
Moving on to your medical coverage today, a Missouri mom has filed a lawsuit in federal court accusing Juul Labs of developing a marketing strategy that targets teenagers. This lawsuit is seeking class action status, claiming the company sought to make their devices seem trendy and stylish. The mother who filed the suit claims her 14-year-old daughter started using Juul products in 2018 and has become addicted to nicotine as a result. This comes as Juul has been under fire due to a rise in vaping-related lung issues all around the country. Juul Labs CEO Kevin Burns was on CBS this morning to respond to the growing concerns around the e-cigarette company.
If there was any indication that there was an adverse health condition related to our product, I think we'd take very swift action associated with it.
A new study finds about a third of middle school and high school students who are exposed to secondhand e-cig aerosols just from being around people who vape.
The Missouri Commission for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing has a new hearing aid distribution program for low-income Missourians. It's taking applications for people interested in obtaining those hearing aids. Governor Parsons signed Senate Bill 101 into law last month, which creates a statewide hearing aid distribution program for those with income at the below the federal poverty level. And you can apply for this online at the MCDHH website.
We're finishing up a Cullerton investigation right now. This week we heard from 3 Springfield women who struggled with infertility. Each of their stories are different, but they find comfort in each other through talking about their experiences. Heather Lewis tells us about how they met and how they're sharing what they've learned with other couples.
In trying to grow their families, Angela, Ashley, and Amanda found friendship. The women are part of an infertility group that meets each month in Springfield at the Library Center.
Having the support of people who are in the infertility community is different than having the support of the friends and family members, generally because the major difference is the experience.
In my opinion, I think a lot of people don't want to talk about it solely because of the fact that it's some embarrassment a little bit.
People don't come to this group until they're really ready to change the narrative. They're tired of their situation, they want things to improve, so they're ready to connect, get answers, learn to advocate for themselves, learn their options.
Angela Crawford founded the Springfield Infertility Support Group, which is part of the Resolve organization. It's open to anyone diagnosed with infertility, those suffering from reoccurring losses, and their partners. These women say sharing resources has made them stronger.
Until I knew people were talking about it, I suffered in silence, and it makes me wonder how many other people out there are doing that.
Ashley Cousins helps lead the group.
It's helped me to really find a passion in being able to help other people who have been going through this. Even today I said I shopped around for meds, and someone said I had never thought of that. That can help me save thousands of dollars.
You feel like you're finally at a wall and you're at your end. Come talk to us. You'll walk away feeling a lot better.
My main thing is don't give up, that it's reach out to people, talk to people, and utilize the resources that are out there, because there are resources out there and you're not alone.
In Springfield, Heather Lewis, Ozarks First.
The Infertility Support Group meets every 3rd Wednesday of the month at 7 o'clock at the Library Center in Springfield. If you missed any of the other stories in this series this week, you can find them posted all on our website at ozarksfirst.com.
Just getting started for you this morning. Up next, McDonald's is ramping up its sexual harassment training.
And how an online search engine plans to help recover the Amazon from wildfires.
From Color 10 Ozarks First, Lauren Barnes, Joe Morano, and weather with meteorologist Elisa Raffa. This is Color 10 News Daybreak.